Thanksgiving, everybody. My name is Mackette Kark, and I am going to jump right in by talking about my proactive circle. I am thinking of a situation that we do every year called the Acadia Teacher Fellowship, where we work with 6 or so teachers from all over the United States, and they get a behind-the-scenes tour of Acadia National Park. And so in exchange for that, we ask them to do lesson plans, and we give them as many resources as possible to feel like they are restored in experiencing the national park. When I do this, I am the lead ranger for it. And so I'd like to start them off with a restorative circle. So more formalized circle where we do a ritual and we talk about a talking piece. And then I ask them questions like, what's your most outdoor dream vacation? And what are you most excited for here in Acadia? And I would use that, what are you most excited for in Acadia, to build expectations. I would say, we're all so excited to be here. We're all so excited to grow and learn together. What are some of the ways that we can build expectations of each other while we're here together? What are things that we want to make us successful together? And write that up as a contract so that we have something that we can go back to in the next time in case I need to have those conversations. Because sometimes I find that working with volunteers and with teachers especially, I want to be so respectful of all of the work that they are giving to the park that I don't have a good way to come in, and hopefully using those contracts and that affective language, we can start to have conversations if the behavior is not what it needs to be for the park standard. And then I also would use check-ins and check-outs every week. One time I did a end of the 6 weeks checkout, and it was 5 hours long. So I think that indicates the need for a constant checking in of, how are you doing? How are these expectations? Are they clear to you? Thinking about reactive circles, I'm definitely thinking a little bit more informal because the National Park Service does not have a system that allows for those big conferencing moments. So I'm thinking of the coworker who's either late or missing responsibilities, and how you could use affective language to bring them closer into your kinship and into that feeling of belonging, and maybe encourage better behavior. So I'm thinking of using praise, and I have a tendency to use praise but then use sarcasm afterwards, where it's like, oh, you showed up on time, good for you. And instead, being intentional about, it is so meaningful to me when you're respectful of my time. It means so much to me when you're able to follow through and I know that I can trust you. And then also using language like, how do you think your behavior impacts people? What do you think happens when you show up late? And just being open enough to listen to that. What I think is so powerful about restorative affective questions is asking them early allows you that space before you get confrontational and angry. It allows you to ask the question curiously rather than out of anger, which really could impact and change the behavior and the direction of the interaction with the other person. So I'm thinking of using that less formal, but it would be ideal if that behavior were to continue to have a system in place and a script in place of what does a conference look like inside of a government or a more bureaucratic system. So those are some of my thoughts about proactive circles and then reactive affective language. I look forward to hearing all of your comments. Thank you.